Kia ora. This afternoon, a front continues to move northwards, moving away from the likes of, say, Auckland as we head through the afternoon to leave behind some drier and eventually brighter weather. You can see the clear skies already creeping in across the South Island and up on towards the North Island as well. Still a few showers to watch out for down the far southern areas. And with cold air, we'll still find some of those feeling a little bit wintry, mainly above about the highest parts of our patches. But I think we are going to also keep hold of some pretty brisk southwesterly winds in those areas through there as well. As we head on in towards the night time, this band of wet weather continues to move away, leaving plenty of clear sky across the majority of New Zealand as we head through the night time and in towards the early hours of Saturday morning. Now, still keeping hold of a touch more cloud around the western coast, the South Island, and down in the south, we'll still find a few niggling showers in towards the likes of, say, Invercargill in the far south and eastern parts of the South Island. But for many of us, it's a dry night and it's a clear night. And on the North Island particularly, we'll find our temperatures very different to the ones we woke up to first thing this morning. Overnight lows in those central areas back down towards freezing for places like Taupo, even parts of Waikato. Cold enough for a touch of frost down through the likes of Wanganui and even in towards Manawatu. A frosty night for you tonight as we head in towards the early hours of Saturday morning. And the South Island as well, we'll find our temperatures dropping back down below freezing through parts of Canterbury and Otago. So a bit of a chilly start first thing on Saturday, but high pressure is the dominant feature this weekend and for the start of next week, leaving plenty of dry weather. You can see on the charts we've still got areas of cloud coming and going as we head through the daytime. And where that cloud is thick enough on these western areas, we could catch an isolated shower and some of the likes of the west coast of the South Island. A few more showers becoming a little bit more persistent, I think, down the far southern areas there around that Clutha coastline and in towards the likes of southern parts of Otago. But for many of us, it is looking like a dry looking Saturday. A cold and frosty start though for some of those spots on the North Island, places like Wairarapa and the central areas up through there as well. But you can see generally a pretty decent looking start today. Plenty of clear sky, plenty of dry weather, plenty of fine weather. Through the afternoon we'll find cloud begin to build and push on towards those western areas, and beneath the thickest of that cloud we could find an odd shower. But these are very isolated across those western areas. For most of us it's a dry day, areas of cloud coming and going through the daytime. And if you're up in towards perhaps the higher parts of Taranaki or the higher parts of Manawatu, you might find a touch more cloud and an odd shower. But for most of us, it's a dry looking day and a fine one as well. Temperatures are looking up to around about 16, 17 degrees Celsius in Auckland. And I think overnight temperatures as we head into the early hours of Sunday are not nearly as cold as we'll see first thing on Saturday. Heading down towards the South Island, again, plenty of dry weather on the cards for places like Nelson and down through Marlborough and Canterbury. You can see in the far south we'll keep hold of more cloud. These showers still pushing through towards Stewart Island, perhaps the coastal parts of Southland, and just making their way towards those far southern parts of Otago as well. Most likely south of Dunedin City, but it's not out of the question we'll catch one or two just run through you as well. But most of the time looking to be staying at just about dry, patchy cloud through there, but a patchy cloud as well through parts of Canterbury during the daytime, but most of the time staying dry as well. And on that western coast, if we do see any showers, I think they'll clip through fairly quickly, but I think we are going to keep a touch more cloud on the western side of the South Island. In terms of our temperatures, highs in Christchurch of 15 degrees Celsius, and like the North Island, not as cold for you as we head in towards the early hours of Sunday morning. Now for that second day of the weekend, don't forget clocks go forward in the early hours of Sunday morning. High pressure is with us and it stays firmly in place as we go through the daytime. So again, for many of us, a dry looking day. Areas of cloud as we head through the afternoon. Still a chance of a few showers around these western facing areas, but for most of us, Sunday is another dry and settled story, and even through in towards Monday as well. That high pressure sticking with us as we start next week too. That's it from me. There's more at metservice.com.